Self-quarantining.
And a quarantine order.
Quarantined in their...
Held in quarantine.
Quarantine.
The quarantine in place.
Quarantine for the required 14 days.
Hey, what's up, people? This is Quarantine Talks, and I am JC. And today, I got a very special actress, guest, celebrity friend. She goes by the name of Brittany Inge, aka Crystal Garret, on the hit show Boomerang on BET. So today, we're going to discuss her leading her own episode in Paris. Big shout out to Dom Davis. Dealing with the acting challenges of language barriers. Her first on-screen love scene. And working with childhood idol Kelly Rowland. We also talk about what it's like working with Lena Waithe and being on Halle Berry's IG. And she drops a major gem that y'all can thank me for, whatever, you know what I'm saying, about the 3 women she would like to play in a biopic. Or I'm never really sure how to say that word, but y'all get it. And then last but not least, y'all, we playing a little DMV trivia because, she from the DC area and I, DC down. So, we get it in. So guys, this is going to be a really dope, dynamic conversation, man. Go ahead, get locked in. We're going to be right up after this ad. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Once again, welcome to Quarantine Talks. I am JC, and today I got with me the lovely and talented... Go ahead, introduce yourself.
My name is Brittany Inge. I play Crystal Garret on Boomerang on BET. And I'm an actor, singer, writer, artist, activist. That's my life. All
right. So we talked about the who and the what. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Laurel, Maryland. And I went to high school in DC. Okay. I went to Duke Ellington School of the Arts in DC. Okay. Mm-hmm. So it's funny too, because in doing a little research on you, I found out that we have 2 common links. And that being from DC is the first one, because I'm from DC as well. Hilarious. I knew I liked you.
And I lived in Laurel for a minute too. So that's just kind of, and the second link I'll jump into with this question. So you jumped off into the entertainment industry originally doing, what was it, data entry? And then you went to...
Ish. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then you jumped straight into theater, correct?
Yes, ish. So I've been an entertainer my whole life. I knew I was going to be an entertainer. I just thought I was going to be Whitney Houston. Mm-hmm. That was my goal when I was a kid. I just want to be Whitney. So That's that. And then life continued to happen. And I went to college and I got my degree in music. And when I graduated, I worked corporately for a little while. And one of those places was at Tyler Perry Studios. Right. That was the last day job I had, and it was a corporate day job. But even while I was working there, and before I worked there, I was doing community theater all around Atlanta, which is unpaid theater, basically. Okay. So I was already starting to catch the acting bug. Yeah, I was already starting to catch the acting bug and training and doing things like that. But yeah, and then I still had day jobs though throughout the course of that. Other day jobs, I worked at Pinkberry Frozen Yogurt. I taught Zumba. I taught musical theater to kids. I've had all sorts of day jobs while I've still been pursuing acting post college. Right. So yeah.
So one of those plays, this is the second link that I just found out. Mm-hmm. So the play that you were in that kind of caught my attention was Holla If You Hear Me.
Okay, yeah.
And so that caught my attention because remember when I was saying to you, you look familiar. I thought it was just from Boomerang, but one of my good friends, I've known her for like 4 years now, Ashley Bree Gillum, was in the play with you. So that's how I was like, oh, okay, I've seen you before. Like
that's crazy. Yeah, I love Ashley. We had so much fun doing that show. We literally became a huge family. We still all have like a group chat and we support each other, all that stuff.
So I was like, oh, wow. So I was like, okay. Because I was like, but your hair was different. And that's the thing. Yeah. That's the thing with Black women. Y'all change our hair every other week. So sometimes if you don't see you, it goes over your head.
Yep, it's true. Very true.
All right. And so getting into Boomerang. So first, let me say that I do love the show.
And
it took it a while to grow on me. And I realized it's because I think it was Prentice Penny that might have said it, but he was like, we're so used to seeing ourselves on TV in all the extra formats. Like, you got to have like the super extra heartbroken or the super violent thing that happens or whatever. It's so when you see a group of beautiful Black people just like living their lives, like it seems kind of like mundane to you. Like, okay, well, what else is going to happen? Like is it somebody going to get shot? Is somebody going to get jumped? Okay, wait, is she like, you know what I'm saying? Like we get accustomed to only seeing ourselves in that light. So right around the 3rd episode of Boomerang, I realized like, yo, I'm just watching Black people in a similar position as myself live their life. Like that's refreshing. You know what I'm saying? Like that is refreshing. And that's something that like, I credit to like the new wave of directors and writers like Lena, Ben Corey, Prentice Penny, Issa Rae. So like it is very refreshing to just see Black people in normal situations dealing with normal life stuff. And so with that being said, let's talk about your episode in Paris, because I loved this episode.
Oh, yay. Thank you.
I really, really love this episode. From like the plane ride to you sleeping when Kelly Rowland was there, you listened to her music and she like just completely oblivious.
Completely missed it. Mm-hmm.
So like, was that your first time out of the country or had you been out of the country before?
I've been out of the country before, but it was my first time in Paris, France. I'd never been to Paris. So that was amazing. It's crazy because when I got the script for that episode, obviously I was blown away and I was like, wait,
I'm gonna go to Paris?
Yeah. I was like, wait, what? And I was like, this is a huge honor and a huge opportunity and a huge occasion to step into, having a whole episode. So I definitely was grateful for that. But I also was like, wait, this is BET. I don't mean to be, shady.
Right. We got the budget for that?
Yeah, I was like, I got a budget for that. And at first, nobody was saying anything concrete. They were like, we're going to try, but for the most part, we're just going to, fudge it and make Atlanta look as best we can. And I was like, cool. Like, to me, that made sense because I know what we're working with. So I was like, cool. I'm not going to get my hopes up, whatever. But Dime Davis, who was our co-showrunner,
shout out to Dime,
along with Anjali Millen, I always have to make sure I say it correctly. She also directed this episode and she was determined. It's like, we're going to Paris. Like, I'm going to make this happen. I was like, okay, if you say so. And somehow she made it happen. So I'm just very grateful. And it was an amazing experience getting to film there and working with the crew there, working with local actors there. It was just amazing. And I have to be clear too, only one of the actors in that episode was a local French actor. Okay. And it was the young lady that worked at the desk. She was amazing. Okay.
Yeah, she sounds like, and that's funny because like, okay, so having been to Paris, like what do you think? Like me personally, I don't like Paris. I didn't really like it, but when I saw you go into that building and it was just like trash and graffiti, I was like, oh, they really in Paris. They in Paris.
Yes.
They in Paris. I was like, oh.
In some ways, it reminded me of New York. I live in New York, even though I'm not quarantining there, but I live in New York City. And it reminded me of New York in some ways, just like old buildings.
Paris is New York with French subtitles. Period.
Yes, literally. Yeah. I was like, all these old buildings and like, yes, it's beautiful. The people are kind of rude, but then some of them are not. Like, it was very much New York City to me. So it was interesting.
And so like, how long were you guys there?
We were there for 6 days.
Oh, wow.
We filmed for 2 days.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, so you got 4 days to yourself.
Okay. Now the thing is, yes, 4 days to myself. I was very excited about that, but that time difference was brutal. Okay. So it was difficult trying to adjust and then having to film and wake up early their time. And, 8 a.m. their time was like, I don't know, 3 a.m. the night before in Atlanta, something like that. I'm saying it wrong.
It's a 6-hour time difference.
It was rough. It was rough. Yeah.
And so, like you get a love interest, and so shout out to just Prentice Penny. I'm going back to him again. Have you seen Uncorked?
Of course.
Okay, so like one of the things that he said when he was talking to Amanda Seales, he was like, we never get to see like just a Black dude in Europe on a bike living their lives. It's always some extra shit. So like, again, we get to see this American Black woman enter into another diaspora of, Black people And, you know, you drop your phone and he's like, I'm going to fix your phone. And you can't speak. And it's funny to me, I can relate because I've been in situations where I'm like, I'm the only person here that doesn't speak the language at the table. So it's like you're sitting and you're eating, you're like, you know, you're just sitting and nodding.
Yeah.
So what was that like with your love interest? Like, what was that like filming the scene with your love interest? And just because he's British?
No. No, Abraham, he was amazing. He's actually from LA.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Like, he lives in LA with his wife. And I think he has some Nigerian roots. Mm-hmm. And there's something else. There's another root in there that I'm missing. And so he knows how to speak French in addition to English. But he is American as far as I know. Like, he was born in America and, you know, but he just has roots elsewhere. And no, we all got to, you know, we flew to Paris to film some of the stuff. Actually, a lot of the stuff that we filmed in Paris did not make it into the episode. He and I mean.
Oh, okay.
Stuff that he and I filmed in Paris. Okay. But, you know, it was interesting because when I got the script again, I was excited, but also shook in a lot of ways. And one of those ways was, okay, Crystal is having like a little moment, a little rendezvous. Mm-hmm. And that's beautiful, but she doesn't speak the same language as the guy. So that's what one of my acting teachers calls an actor challenge. Like, how do you overcome this and still communicate with not only the person, like character wise, but your scene partner? And how do you get these emotions conveyed, you know, to the audience and to the scene partner? So I was very scared about that. And I did not hesitate to ask for help from my acting teacher. I sent him the whole script from Dime and, you know, things like that. But I was excited about that challenge because I feel like it really challenged both of us to feel, really experience and feel on camera for the camera to be able to pick it up. We didn't have language to rely on. So we really had to use our body language and our eyes and our thoughts to really take us there and take the audience on that journey. It was cool.
Was that your first sex scene or pseudo sex scene?
It was my first love scene. Yes, it was. And I'm so glad it was on BET.
Okay.
So glad it was on BET because, you know, there are certain things in place that, you know, protect everybody. So
yeah, socks, pillows, all that good jazz. I know. I used to be on set too. I know. So yeah.
But yeah, it was my first time and it was, you know, terrifying leading up to it. But then when we actually got in the thick of it, it was just like, this is the work. This is what we're doing. Right. We had a conversation beforehand, several conversations with our director, amongst ourselves. We went out to dinner. We hashed it out. We talked it out. We talked through what we were comfortable with, what we weren't comfortable with. And we just did it. We went for it. We're actors, you know?
Yeah. It's always weird to me, like how professional those scenes are. Because everybody's like, oh, it just looked this way. And I'm like, no. It's very technical. It's not sexy at all. And you're cold because you half naked. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, you know, it's very like not what you thinking.
And there are like 3 people in the room. Like, it's a closed set. The only people in there, I think, actually, when they called action, the only people in there were myself, Abraham, and our DP, who was handling the camera specifically for that scene because we wanted to keep it safe. And he's the head of his department. So our DP, David, me and Abraham, and Dime was calling action from outside the door,
that's
the
dope.
Soundstage door.
That's dope. But the other thing that's nice too is that, like, okay, so when I first saw you in season 1, like, and I think I did a little research and like Black Twitter got on Boomerang about that. And I love that it switched because you kind of like only see you from like the waist up or like the face of like a lot of your scenes are right here. And so like in season 2, we get to see full Crystal. I'm like, oh, she thick. Oh, she like a regular. Okay, cool. Like I love to see that represented. And you wouldn't think that would be something that would be a challenge on a network for Black people. But even seeing that, it's just so weird that, you know, we always have to have like try to have on television like the stand or the quote unquote standard like stick figure, whatever. Like, no, like Black women don't look like that all the time. Like most of the Black women I know look like you. So it's like, you know, that was nice and refreshing to see.
Right.
From season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quote unquote.
Which, you know, and there's nothing wrong with being a woman of size. I personally don't consider myself to be a woman of size. I consider myself just a curvy girl.
Right. As you are.
And, you know, being seen in that what a trope, for lack of a better word, being seen as like, oh, they tried to kind of pin her as the fat friend season 1, was fascinating hearing that feedback from people, because I'm like, I never saw it that way. And I understand that people can only see it through the lens that they perceive, but the thing that I loved about season 1 and love even more about season 2 is that Crystal is a curvy woman, and it kind of gets like, especially at the top of season 2, Ari addresses it like Crystal looking good, her little body contract, you know, it's like that moment, but it doesn't really get addressed, and it's not a part of her storyline. Like, she's just a curvy woman. She's just a black woman.
She's just existing
with the body she has existing in the world. And I feel like that's how it should be for all characters.
Right.
Like, we don't need to, because so often it's either like we're curvy or the woman of size, the fat friend, whatever you want to call it, or we're set aside just to be objects of like sexual objectification and sexual, like, it's just like, oh, that's the girl with the big booty, let's make a moment of that. But no, we're 3-dimensional people too. We deserve stories and characters that live these full lives. And that's also what I love so much about her trip to Paris. She got to step out of the shadow of her
Absolutely.
friends.
Yeah. You got to do your own thing.
Embrace herself fully as a woman. And yes, and like lead an episode and lead her own life story. And like, curvy women deserve to be at the center of those types of stories. So it was really refreshing, and I was honored to be the vessel for that.
Yeah, I was like, I fanned out over that because I just love the way everything was, as a person that works in video as well and like produces, directs, whatever. It's just nice to see the people that I'm seeing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nothing wrong with this, not quote unquote light skinned mixed people. Like, no, 2 dark skinned people at a club enjoying themselves, like, you know, and then they go home and they have a good night, and you get like it's a full like experience, like, you know, and it's just like, it's nice because again, I've had those nights overseas where you just like, you don't speak the language, but you connect on some, you know, you connect like, I guess spiritually, you kind of understand it and you go with the flow, and that's just like, it was beautiful. I was like, and you like probably the only person that got like an out of the country episode, like. Swag. Swag.
There's a whole after show about that. We have this like mockumentary style after show where we play these heightened versions of ourselves. Like, not playing Crystal, I'm playing Brittany, but a heightened version of Brittany. And we all banter and go back and forth. And there's a whole after show episode of them bickering about the fact that I'm the one who got to go to Paris.
That you don't have your own entire solo episode in Paris. That's not my fault.
And it's bullshit.
Listen. I don't know if you've heard of a fictional character by the name of Whitley Gilbert. She also started on her show in a recurring role, Lala. So maybe these writers just know what they're doing, huh?
Maybe they just wanted to help the recurring actress out.
Right.
Maybe they needed an actress to do the work. The point is, Paris happened, get over.
All the episodes are on my Instagram, and also on Lena's Instagram and BET's Boomerang on BET, all that. But it's fun. We got to like play heightened versions of ourselves and make fun of ourselves and show our audience that we don't take ourselves too seriously. So that was fun.
Yeah, that's dope. And so last thing I want to talk about this particular episode. So you got to meet Kelly. And Kelly, no lie, is one of the most beautiful people I have ever met in my life. Like, I remember I used to work at nightclubs here in Atlanta, and we hosted her one night. And so she got out of the limousine and she stepped down, and I literally have never, like, my jaw dropped. Like, she's gorgeous. And so what was it like getting to a chance to kind of like share the screen with, like, you know, Miss Rowland?
Oh my gosh. It was all of my childhood dreams like like colliding and just like blowing up in my face. That is the only way I could describe it. I actually had met Kelly. We filmed this episode in November. Okay. I'd actually met Kelly in October of last year. So right a month prior at the Tyler Perry opening of his studios. Okay. And so I knew that she watched our show season 1. And that was the only reason I had a little bit of courage to walk up to her and introduce myself at the gala, because all of Destiny's Child was there.
Okay.
And I wanted to talk to all of them. I want to picture with all 3 of y'all, but like together, not individual. I like Destiny's Child was my life. Okay. So I'm like, all of Destiny's Child is here. I can't deal, but I can at least talk to Kelly because I know she watched our show. Right. So I went up to her and I like started to introduce myself. She was like, "Oh my God, I know who you are. You're so talented. You're so beautiful." I'm like, what? Mm-hmm. Literally, I was like stuck like this. And I was like, okay, well, I just wanted to say hello, bye. And I left. So
she said that I left.
Yeah, that was it. And that was it. To November, I find out she's doing our show. She walks into the makeup trailer. I'm getting my makeup done.
What are you doing here?
I'm like, Kelly. Well, no, I knew she was coming at this point, but I'm just like, Kelly, who knew?
Right.
And she was like, girl, I did, because I manifested this. I love this show. I manifested this. I was like, I know that's right. And she was just so sweet and just personable and hilarious. She was telling me stories on set, like in between takes. And she's just a light. Yeah. I don't know. Like I told her, I was like, this is Chocolate Girl Dreams coming to life. And I got the chance to tell her, I was like, when I was a kid, you really helped me see myself. So this is a moment for me. Like in entertainment, she helped me see myself. And what's really crazy is all of Destiny's Child helped me see myself. Like Kelly helped me see myself as a chocolate girl, and Beyonce helped me see myself as a thick girl, and Michelle helped me see myself as an underdog. Michelle is so talented, but she is so much like an underdog, and she has one of the most amazing voices I've ever heard. And I experienced all of that, all the facets of what they experienced as a group. So it was just a dream come true, honestly. That's all I can say. I've probably given you more of an answer than you even asked for, but it was amazing.
Yeah, like I definitely, like I said, when she hopped out of that van and I said, "Hey, Miss Kelly," she said, "Hi, how you doing?" I didn't have anything else to say at that point. I was just like, okay, well, I'm done with life. She said hi to me. Like, she specifically looked at me and said hi. So I'm good for the rest of the night. She ain't said nothing to you. She ain't said nothing to you. She said something to me. I don't even care if I make money tonight. I'm great.
It was, no, I had a moment similar to that in the trailer because we were playing music, and at one point Whitney came on again. I love Whitney, so does Kelly, obviously. And Whitney came on, and I couldn't help myself. So I'm singing, harmonizing mindlessly. That's what singers do anyway. Right. And Kelly kind of was too. And then she looked. She was like, "Who is that harmonizing like that?" She's like, "You about to make me go off?" I was like, "Oh, that's me." She was like, "Okay, girl, I hear you." I was like, "Kelly Rowland knows I can sing." Yeah,
Kelly Rowland knows I can sing.
Excited.
Oh my God. Excited about Kelly Rowland knows I can sing, and she likes it too. And she likes it.
Yeah, it was great.
She likes it. Okay. And moving on to awesome Black women legends. So, what is it like working with Lena Waithe and Halle Berry?
Oh, okay. So Lena is, man, she literally walks the walk. Everything that she talks, she walks. And, just seeing her live her life in the public eye and how she deals with it with so much grace and transparency and brilliance and Blackness is so inspiring. And to get to be up close, to have kind of a front, well, I won't say front row seat, but, because I work for her. Okay. Right. But I'll say to have maybe a second row, third row seat. To have a second row, third row seat to watching her navigate this industry and her personal journey is so inspiring. And she always looking out. She's just a real one. She really is. And that's what I love most about her. And I'm inspired most about her. And Halle, we've only gotten to I've seen Halle now, I think twice, but we officially met her Boomerang style once only. But she's given us the stamp of approval and her love and her name to attach to this project. And that means the world to us, just having her blessing. But she is another one, just a dream, a light, a goddess, so down to earth, so Black. That's my favorite thing. That's my favorite thing. Because sometimes people get, up in the world and, our Black stars that we grew up watching and they are refined now in a way. And that's beautiful, but sometimes I think even we forget. Like Halle Berry did Babs.
Yeah.
Okay? And
Like she black. Like, you know what I'm
she's
saying?
black. She's black. Like she did Losing Isaiah. You know what I'm saying? Like she is black. And I just love that about her, that she's so down to earth and just still always supporting us. She posts pictures of me on her Instagram story sometimes. I'm like, wait, what? Like I'm on Halle Berry's Instagram story. It's so just very supportive and amazing.
And that's just, cause like I always like, cause I've ever since, okay, so now I think I really started paying attention to Lena, from The Chi. And I really started to like see like, oh, like she is really like, you know, like, I don't know, what am I trying to say? Like, she's really about that life. Like, she's like you said, like she, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna work with you one day. We're gonna work on something. Cause I like the way that this whole entire new wave of like black everything that's coming up from one end to the other. Like, I just like, okay, this is cool. Like, this is, like, this is what I've been waiting for to see. And now that I'm kind of having a chance to be a part of it, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm here. Like, we good. Like, you know, I just love it. So, so are there any actors or directors that you haven't worked with that you would want to work with?
Yes. So I love directors. I'm a fan of directors. I want to direct one day. That's a goal of mine.
You did direct Shave, remember?
I have directed. That's true. I meant on a bigger level.
I know what you mean. I'm
get me together. I wrote and directed for a film. Okay. And I've directed like a music video before for a friend, but you know, I want to do other things, but I am also like, kind of old school in the things that I enjoy and the stuff that I like. So I would love to work with Robert Townsend. Okay. You know, he directed some of my favorite films. Like, I would love to work with Debbie Allen. I'm looking for like the people that I came up being inspired by their work. But in terms of new directors, Dime Davis is obviously one of my favorites. So is Tiffany Johnson. She directed a few episodes of Boomerang, but I would love to work with her on like a film or something, like, because her eye is so unique and beautiful. Who else? Names are escaping me right now, but yes, there are lots of people that I would love to work with.
What is your dream project?
And I always say this because I get this question semi-often. My dream role or project is a period piece. And I try not to be specific about exactly what that is because I've learned that I'm not in control anyway. God is going to bring the roles to me that I'm supposed to play. But I just really want to play I said period piece and I meant that, but I also want to play a real person. That's a huge goal of mine, to like play a biopic, like being a biopic.
Oh, okay. I'm supposed to say you're playing a real person. No, she don't got no power. What you mean? Okay. I got you.
I want to portray a real person, like have to do character work and step into someone else's literal shoes, someone who has walked the earth. Okay. Either in my lifetime or before. I would love that.
Who would it be? Give me a top 3. Go.
Oh, okay.
Go.
Top 3. Ida B. Wells.
Ooh, okay, good one.
Sarah Bartman.
Interesting. Good choice.
And dang, who else? Oh, Oprah.
Okay, I can see you. Okay, I got it. I like that. That was a good. I'm
gonna hold on to that. So next time I get this question, those would be my top 3: Ida B. Wells, Sarah Bartman, and Oprah Winfrey. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm like, I had to follow it up. He was like, you get that question? I was like, okay, we're going to go deeper then. Like, I can't. That's
I love that. Yeah. I got to remember that.
What are you doing with the non-starving artists?
You know what? Right now, not much because life has been so crazy. But I originally started that LLC and website and organization to just really chronicle. Well, it started as just a website, and I started it just to chronicle my journey as a working actor who still had a day job, and just showing what it looked like to like be an artist and say, hey, look, I still got to pay my bills and you can do both. This is what it looks like to balance both. And that's why it started. And I started highlighting other artists. And then I put on like a live event one year and, did this whole thing. So I was going somewhere with it. And then acting kind of took off, and acting full time was always the end goal. Mm-hmm. So it's just kind of slowed down, and I'm working now to figure out how to repurpose it, because I still have the LLC and I still have the name, but what can I now do under that umbrella? So right. I'm considering a few things. Mm-hmm. We'll see. Nothing's concrete yet, though. Okay.
Because I like the idea of someone using their platform to platform others. Which is
absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And then I think my last question is, how has lockdown, quarantine affected your way of, I guess your business, because like you said, like you live in New York, but you're here now. Mm-hmm. Which was a good choice. I know other people that got the hell out. So you did good girl. But like, how has that like affected your movements going forward, or maybe like has it affected any projects or anything like that?
It's affecting work in general, because everything's shut down, right. And just not knowing when things can open back up. Like, for example, if Boomerang gets renewed for a third season, which fingers crossed it does,
it will.
We typically. Yes, I received that. We typically shoot at the end of the year, okay. October to December. And while it looks good for us to still be able to shoot, there's so much uncertainty.
Up in the air, right?
Right. So let's say we get renewed, and then it's like, okay, well, you're supposed to start shooting in October, but will we be able to? So right. That's one thing that kind of is scary. Also having auditions, like I had a great audition right before everything got crazy, like at the top of March. And I turned in the tape. I felt so good about it. And then everything shut down. So I never found out right. If I even got a call back, or if they liked it, or, and they may still be saying like, yeah, that girl was really good. We're going to call her in whenever we open back up. But right. I don't know that. Like, there's right. no way of knowing. So there's that. And just kind of having to adjust the way we go about being creative has been interesting. I've been getting more auditions for voiceover work and, things like that. So you just kind of got to go with the flow and continue to learn the lesson of how we're not in control of any of this. That's been the biggest thing for me.
I never envisioned a time when I would say the words, the world is closed, and people wouldn't look at me like I was crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you would have said that mm-hmm. 2 months ago, like, yeah, the world's closed, you can't do nothing. What are you talking about? Like, now it's like, oh yeah, right. The world is closed. It's closed. Like, it's
yeah. Yeah. Closed. It's so crazy
to think about. Yeah. You seen that meme with Candy when it's like Monday, this is crazy. Tuesday, this is crazy. Thursday, like
no, I
gotta send it to you. It's funny.
Accurate.
Well, wait, you guys filmed from October to December. You filmed all those episodes in 2.5 months?
Yeah. First season we had 10 episodes. This season we only had 8, and that was because they were pairing us with 20s, Lena's other new show. Right. And they only had 8, so they were kind of trying to pair them. But I hope, again, should we get a season 3, that we can get our 10 back, or maybe even 12 to make up for the 2 that we missed.
Right.
This season. But even though, I think even if we got 12, they would still do it in the same amount of time, because when we had 10, we filmed 2.5 months and got it done. So yeah, we film about,
that's like an episode.
I'd say an episode every 4 or 5 days. Yeah, basically. Yep.
Wow, that's okay.
Yeah,
that's grueling. All right, so yeah, mm-hmm. Like when I think about it, like that's very
yes, it
Jesus. Is. Oh, woof. All right.
Yes, it is. But listen, it's grueling it sounds grueling, but my friends that work at Tyler Perry Studios as actors, their schedule is even crazier. Mm-hmm. So, I'll take what I can get. We do 2.5 months and 8 episodes or 10 episodes. They do 3 weeks, 25 episodes. Lord. So yeah, that you talk about grueling. I can't even talk to one of my best friends is on the show Sisters. I can't even talk to him when he's filming, because it's too crazy.
Like, he ain't got time. Like, like, I love you. I'll text you in a week. Like, you'll hear from me in a week. I have an off day. We gonna hang out. That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
Woo. Lord Jesus. That just made me 4 a.m. call times. I had flashbacks. 3 a.m. call times.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I had flashbacks.
So crazy.
Now for some fun questions. Since you are from DMV DC area, we're gonna do some DMV trivia.
Yes, area.
All right. So first question. It's going to be either or. There is no wrong answer.
Okay.
And there is no right answer.
Okay.
But there are right answers and there are wrong answers. So I'm saying it that. But
That's hilarious. Okay.
All right. So mumbo sauce or hot sauce?
Oh, Mambo, are you serious?
That was the wrong answer. The correct answer was both. But I'm gonna let you. But mumbo sauce was the runner-up, so you know.
But you said either or. I'm just following the rules, okay? Because as soon as I said mumbo, I was like, oh, but I love hot. So
both.
then my brain did it. But I'm trying to respect the game. You said either or, so go with mumbo.
All right.
Spicy mumbo. How about that?
Spicy mumbo. There you go. All right. You redeemed yourself a little bit. That's half a point.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. Popeyes or the carryout?
Oh, okay. Here's the thing. I don't eat chicken anymore.
Okay. Me either.
But, but I have, it's rough. Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have fond memories of the carryout in high school because I went to high school in DC. But I have super fond memories of Popeyes in college because I went to Spelman and Popeyes was right up the street. I mean, we could walk to Popeyes. Mm-hmm. So that's tricky for me. I'm going to go with both since I know that's an option now.
That was technically the wrong answer. It was carryout.
That's fine. It's not wrong to me. It's right in my life.
Well, wait.
It's correct.
I'm gonna give you a redeeming quality. All right. So with that being said, Popeyes or Bojangles?
Popeyes.
Okay, you from the Caribbean, you don't know no better, so I'm gonna give you that one. But Bojangles they chicken is like so good though. Oh my god.
I'm not as familiar. That's the truth.
Yeah,
so
that's what I was about to say. You from DC? Like we have 3. There's 1 in DC and 2 in Maryland. So I don't. Yeah, I know. TCB or UCB? Exactly. This is real DC trivia right here. Like if you're not from the area, you're not gonna get it.
I know this is. I'm gonna have to go with TCB.
Okay, is that your final answer?
I think I'm trying to remember the hits,
right?
But I'm gonna have to go with TCB. That from what I can remember.
I believe if I'm not mistaken, TCB had Pieces of Me. So Pieces of Me was like a bop, like that was a major smash.
They win. Yep, that's right. That's right.
TCB. You
Applause.
Right. Yep. There you go. So there you go. And then the last one is Backyard or Rare Essence.
Oh, that is hard.
Mm-hmm. That's why I saved it for last.
Is the correct answer both? Because who had
there is no correct answer.
Who had give me some of that thug passion? Who had that?
That was UCB.
Oh, that was UCB. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Wait.
Okay, wait. But who had Sexy Lady? Wasn't that one of them? Wasn't that Backyard?
No, that was. Ooh, you gonna make me Google real fast. Hold on. Sexy. I think Sexy Lady was UCB, if I'm not mistaken.
Dang, so it's the UCB. So I should have done. I should have done both for them. Mm-hmm. Okay. Backyard and Rare. That's difficult. It's difficult. Right. I'm gonna have to go with both.
Okay. Acceptable. Because I can't even really call it. Because like Rare Essence they gave us a bop, and then like a classic. The Overnight Scenario is a classic. Like everybody knows that from coast to coast.
Exactly.
And then Backyard is Backyard. So it's like I just my sister personally knows Huggy. So I mean, like,
okay,
it is what it is. So like,
we got to go with both. Then.
All right, so that's been DC trivia, DMV trivia. Thanks for playing.
That y'all won't understand. The last 2 y'all won't even know what we're talking about.
Nope.
It's okay.
Nope. Okay. Not at all. And it's not for everybody. It's not everybody. It's not for everybody. It's the crib. It's me.
My friends listening to this are gonna be like, "Girl, she ain't even from DC."
She from Laurel.
I'm from Maryland, but I went to high school in DC, so I'm well versed. Okay.
You went to high school uptown too, so they really gonna eat you out for that one because you went to high school uptown. You went to Duke Ellington.
Yeah, they like what?
Right.
Yeah, like,
you wasn't even by Howard. Like you on the other side of the joint. Like
I sure wasn't. But I was around everybody.
But she was around
that knew the stuff.
Right. So all right. So I'd like to thank you, Miss Inge, for coming on the show, talking to me.
Thank you for having me.
Anything you want the people to know?
Okay. What do I want the people to know? Keep following me on Instagram to keep up with like my life as an artist and what I'm doing, because other things will be coming down the pipeline. I'm actually working on something really exciting right now that I cannot talk about, but it is prime quarantine content. Okay. I'll just say that. So I'm excited about that, and that will be out soon. I'm sure like in the month of May. So, keep your eyes peeled. Follow me at Brittany Inge on Instagram so that you can stay updated and know what's going on.
Okay. That's it. So follow her. I mean, maybe I can get this information offline. So I'm trying. I want to know what it is. So y'all not gonna know, but I might know. But I'm not gonna say nothing. So y'all gonna find out at the same time. But I'm gonna know it before you do. So I'm gonna feel better about myself, and that's all that matters. So thank you for coming on the show, love. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, guys, we out. Peace. And ladies and gents, that's it. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed the convo. If you want to be a guest on the show, or you know somebody that might be a good guest for the show, go ahead and send an email over to me. That's jc@theovt.com. Once again, that is jc@theovt.com. This podcast is available on Apple, Spotify, and Anchor, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave a comment. And all of our content is now available on YouTube. We got video interviews, we got audio interviews, and original content, all on the channel. Just type in the OVT Network and hit subscribe. Stay sane, stay safe, stay creative.